Wild yam cream for menopause? Well, you've probably seen wild yam cream on Amazon or maybe at a health food store with labels that claim things like this: balancing cream for PMS and menopause relief, natural hormone balance, menopause and PMS support for women, or promoting perimenopause and menopause support. But does wild yam cream for menopause actually work? Or is it just a waste of money? More importantly, is that wild yam cream safe? Wild yam cream doesn't contain real progesterone unless the label specifically states Progesterone USP. That's a designation that means the progesterone meets the pharmaceutical grade standards set by the United States Pharmacopoeia. It ensures the ingredient is bioidentical and that it's actually present in the cream. If Progesterone USP isn't listed, then you're applying wild yam extract to your skin and nothing more. Wild yam extract doesn't impact your progesterone levels. Wild yams contain a compound called diosgenin. Diosgenin is a precursor to progesterone that comes from plants. But your body can't convert diosgenin into progesterone. That conversion requires a complex 5-step chemical process called the marker degradation that only happens in a sophisticated chemistry lab. So anybody that claims your body can make progesterone from wild yam cream doesn't really understand the science. Now let's say the cream says it contains progesterone USP. That's a step in the right direction, but now we've got a dosage problem. Most over-the-counter progesterone creams like Pro-Gest or Progesto-Life contain very small amounts, often just like 20 milligrams per dose of progesterone. And that's exactly why those creams can be sold without a prescription. Will wild yam cream work for menopause symptoms? Well, maybe for some women. That low dose might help with mild symptoms if it contains progesterone. Plenty of women say they feel better using wild yam or progesterone cream. They report fewer hot flashes or better sleep or more stable moods. But here's the problem. There's very little scientific evidence backing those claims. When it comes to sleep, I would say oral progesterone is much more effective. That's because oral progesterone is metabolized in the liver into a compound called allopregnanolone. Allopregnanolone helps calm your brain and promotes sleep. You don't really get that particular benefit from a transdermal cream of any kind, whether it's over-the-counter or prescription. We'll talk about those later. So if sleep is your main struggle, the cream may not help that much. But here's a bigger question. Is it dangerous to use wild yam cream or over-the-counter progesterone creams? In most cases, these creams are probably not dangerous on their own. But if you're using estradiol and you still have a uterus, and you're relying on a cream to provide progesterone, that's where things can get a little tricky. Estradiol naturally builds up the lining of the uterus over time. Without progesterone to balance out that action of estradiol, the lining of the uterus, the endometrium, can grow too thick. It's called endometrial hyperplasia, which means overgrowth. Over time, that can lead to endometrial cancer. Several studies show that progesterone in a topical or transdermal cream doesn't provide enough protection for the uterus. The bottom line is that wild yam cream or low-dose progesterone cream isn't harmful for most women, but it's not very effective either. And if it's combined with estradiol, it could be dangerous if it's your only source of progesterone. If you want something that actually works, especially if you need progesterone to protect your uterus or help you sleep, you need some better options. In my next video, we're going to take a close look at compounded transdermal progesterone creams. These are creams made by a compounding pharmacy. They're not available without a prescription. They have much higher doses than what's available without a prescription, doses prescribed by your practitioner. Is compounded transdermal cream the solution to progesterone-related symptoms and uterine protection? Well, watch my next video to find out.